Welcome to the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling virtual college fairs. We have an awesome lineup of schools for you to hear from tonight. But I first wanted to just take care of a couple of housekeeping items. So number one, we know that you're going to have questions, and our panelists want to get those answered for you. So at any time, you can put a question in that Q&A button or box at the bottom. What I would recommend is that you list the college name either before your question or after your question, so they know who you're directing your question to and they can answer appropriately. Secondly, this is a webinar, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. And so that's why you'll want to make sure that you use that question and answer box at the bottom. Thirdly, sign up for more sessions. There are more tonight, and there are also more tomorrow night. So other great schools that you can hear from. And finally, this session is being recorded. So you'll want to make sure that you come back to hear the playback in a week or so on the same website where you signed up for tonight's presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our presenters. First up, you're going to have the opportunity to hear from the University of Illinois, Springfield.
Well, thank you so much. And we're going to have a ton of fun tonight. You have some amazing schools that you're going to hear from. And today with Illinois Springfield, we're going to concentrate on a couple things. We're going to concentrate on what makes us unique, what makes us who we are. We're going to touch a little bit on our different programs, and we'll finish off with just some really cool perks about being a student at UIS. Real quickly, what are we known for? Well, we're going to talk about a couple different things, but first I want to give you a closer look to our campus culture. And we are one of the, if not the most successfully diverse campus in Illinois. Now, a lot of things could mean that, but what does it mean at Illinois Springfield? Well, we are more diverse than our peer institutions in the country, and we graduate our diversity at a higher rate than our peer institutions in the country. Why is that unique? Well, we are the only public university in the state of Illinois to be able to say that. And it talks a lot about who we are as a community on our campus. It also talks about how our students get along differently on our campus than almost anywhere in the country. We rank number 3 in the nation for being the most friendly campus for LGBTQ students in the country. We are the number 1 small school and medium-sized school in the country on that ranking. And it talks about how our students on our campus feel comfortable being exactly who they are. It allows for more success. It allows for more confidence out of our students. And it's part of our culture on our campus that really makes being a Prairie Star, being an Illinois Springfield student, really unique. But that's just one part about what makes us unique. The second part is value. Illinois Springfield ranked number 5 in the entire Midwest. That's about a 12-state radius by U.S. News and World Reports for our students graduating with the least amount of loan debt. That talks about the different types of scholarships and financial funding we are offering. All scholarships this year are based, yes, on GPA only. We are test optional, not just for admissions, but for scholarships, for honors, and for nursing grad or direct entry. And we'll get to nursing here in a minute. We're going to give you that feel of a small private school, but with the resources of a large institution. And so with that, we can offer you the value of a public school in the state of Illinois, where we have an amazing history of being able to fund students, with the advantages of having 18 students in an average classroom, no lectures halls on campus, and a really active environment. So let's talk real quick about the academics on campus. What are our top majors? Well, computer science is our top major. What sets us apart from everywhere else is we allow our students who are in that major to get their own virtual machine that has over 2,000 different applications on it that the university pays for. How good are those? Well, we use the exact same software as the FBI uses right now for cybercrime. You have access to that for free on our campus. And where our students are getting internships, I mean, we just had a freshman intern with Google this past summer, to give you an idea. We're also known for anything government and law. We're in the state capital of Illinois down in Springfield. So you're going to get a 120,000 person city feel, but it's going to feel a lot smaller than that, especially on campus. And so with political science, if you're a student that is passionate about making change, maybe you're passionate about social justice, Maybe you're passionate about things that are happening right now. Our students just don't turn in papers for class. They actually do the change. I mean, we have a student right now on the governmental committee for the higher education. She is right now the only student on a committee with senators and House representative people changing the way that higher education works in Illinois. Our students do things, not just talk about how cool it would be to do things. When it comes to law, there is not anything you cannot do from Illinois Springfield. Put it this way. We've had students admitted in the last 2 years to Harvard, Cornell, UCLA, USC, Notre Dame, Duke, Emory, George Washington, you name it. Our students get into the top law schools in the country every year. Why? Well, we house the Innocence Project on our campus, where our students can actually do law work. The same internship that Northwestern School of Law students do, our students do freshman year. Think about putting that on an application. We have the #1 child advocacy program right now in the world, possibly, as we are only one of 4 schools in the country certified by the Gunderson National Training Center and the Zero Abuse Project. And so our students do simulations, not role play, that's kind of fake, but actual simulations with going into houses, with the court room, and with medical facilities on how it is to help children. We have a criminology program that is second to none. We actually just had 2 of our former graduates, after 6 years and 8 years and with the Springfield PD, get hired in to work with the FBI. That's because the FBI comes on our campus on the 4th day of class to already start talking with our students about how to get jobs with the FBI, especially in town. We have the #1 nursing program in the state of Illinois. We have UIC's nursing program on our campus. That's the same way that all U of I campuses operate. And we have no wait list. We have direct entry without a test score, and we offer more scholarships for nursing than any other school right now in the state. And finally, we have a medical lab science program that is 100% job placement rate. That's forensic science. So what's key? We got the best ice. We have the little Chick-fil-A or the Thornton's ice in our cafeteria. We have the best residence halls around. Students can have cars for $88 a year, and we have opportunities for everybody. And so with that, Courtney, I want to send it back to you for the next presenter.
Thank you, Aaron, and to UIS. And I love the best ice on campus. That's awesome. So again, those of you listening, don't forget you can put those questions in the Q&A box at the bottom. Make sure that you do list the college or university that you want your question to be answered by. And next up, you get the opportunity to hear from Western Colorado University.
Great, thank you so much, Courtney. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. I appreciate all of your time this evening. Welcome. We're so happy to be with you virtually. And again, just thank you so much for your time. This group of presenters is excellent, and I hope that you get some really awesome information about each of these institutions. Today, I'm going to talk about Western Colorado University based in Gunnison, Colorado. It's a really small mountain town, about 8,000 people, including the college. Located right in the heart of the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. You can kind of get an idea of what campus looks like here. All of these buildings with red roofs are campus. So it's a pretty small institution. Our total student enrollment is right around 3,015 students. So we love our small town, we love our small school, and think we can provide some really awesome opportunities for students. One of those things is that our backyard is nature's best classroom. Our top 5 most popular majors on campus are business, recreation, outdoor education, biology, exercise and sports science, and environment and sustainability. And a lot of those are science-related fields. And I think that the reason that those are the most popular on campus is because we're surrounded by hundreds of acres of BLM land, national forest land, all of this public land that students have access to either do studies in and do their research in, or do recreation if you're interested in any recreational activities outdoors. But certainly any of the programs that aren't science related are very hands-on. From my experience as a student at Western, I was in a public relations campaign writing course, and I actually got to sit down and write 2 different public relations campaigns for companies in Gunnison, sit down with them and implement them for them as well. So again, really hands-on learning opportunities in every program, science related or not. And our average class size is 17 students, but the largest classroom that we have on campus will only hold about 50. And that'd be a pretty large classroom for a class in Western. And you just really get that one-on-one interaction with your professors. You get one-on-one interaction with your peers. But this average class size of 17 students also means that your professors are incredibly accessible, both in and out of classes. So if you aren't able to get to your questions in class, which professors are really good about getting to questions in class, they have an open door policy and are available and open to ask questions or answer questions outside of class as well. As far as affordability, Western is a relatively affordable four-year institution. We're right around $18,600 per year for out-of-state tuition. You can compare that to the national average of $22,500, and we're relatively affordable in that sense. We do have automatic merit scholarships that range from $8,000 to $10,000 per year. If you have at least a 3.35 GPA from high school, you will automatically receive at least $8,000 per year. If you don't quite meet that merit scholarship requirement, any student from the state of Illinois will automatically receive what's called our Central Plains discount, and that's where you only pay 150% of in-state tuition. So no student from the state of Illinois will be paying $18,600. Our in-state tuition is $6,816 per year, so you'll pay 150% of that. But 80% of students on our campus receive financial aid from grants or scholarships, which is money that doesn't need to be paid back. It's totally separate from any loans that you might receive. And 100% of students are considered for those merit-based scholarships. We have a ton of resources available for students that, and this is certainly not a comprehensive list, it's just a couple that I like to highlight. We've got our Academic Resource Center that houses our disability services, academic advising, study abroad, career services. So lots of different services in that specific office. But for our career services program specifically, they will help you whether you're looking for a job on campus, like a work-study job, an internship, or job placement after school. So they can sit down with you and look over your resume and your cover letter, your job application. They can do mock interviews with you. And we even have a career wardrobe closet where if you have an interview coming up and you don't have a suit to wear, you can check out a suit from our career closet, just like you would check out a book from the library. And when you're done with it, you can bring it back and they'll take care of the dry cleaning for you. So really great resources there. We've got a math tutoring center and a writing center that are housed by, or I guess worked by students. So if you're really passionate about either of those programs, you can certainly get a paid position in either of those offices. But you can even go in at any point with questions on your math homework or get help editing your paper, and they will help you out with that. We also have an EPIC mentorship program, and our EPIC mentors are paired with every single freshman and incoming transfer that come to Western, and they're just going to help you with your transition onto campus. And then they're there to be a friendly face afterwards too. So they could just text you and say, hey, I'm headed to a volleyball game if you want to join. So that's a really great resource too. And they're housed in our Trailhead, which is in our University Center, and that's kind of the hub for student life on campus. If you are interested in visiting campus, we would love to have you. We are open for in-person campus visits. We just ask that groups are smaller than 10 so we can keep our visitors and on-campus folks safe. We do have a virtual tour if a on-campus visit is not an option for you. You can go to western.edu/visit. And then if you're interested in applying, we do have a $30 application fee, but you can use the code GOWESTERN2021 to waive your $30 application fee. And that is all that I have for you all today. I'll drop my contact information in the chat, but I'll turn it back over to you, Courtney.
Thanks so much, Lindsay, and to Western Colorado University. Wow, you've already heard from 2 great schools. We still have 4 more to go. Next up, you get to hear from the University of Akron.
Awesome. Thanks, Courtney. My name is Cassie Cunningham, and I'm one of the admission counselors at the University of Akron. We're located in Akron, Ohio, which is about 6 to 6.5 hours away from the greater Chicago area. I'm really excited to be here this evening to share a little bit more information about the University of Akron. Now, we have a lot of reasons why students will choose to attend the University of Akron, but just a few to run through. We do have outstanding academic programs with over 200 different majors to choose from. We also offer a lot of different real world experiences with 92% job placement rate within 6 months of graduation or sooner. A few other things to mention, we are in an urban environment. We're in Ohio's 5th largest city. So our students have a lot of both personal and professional opportunities in the city of Akron, especially with that 92% job placement rate. We also have a ton of Fortune 500 companies in the area, and we have a beautiful and safe campus with more than 80 different buildings on our campus and over 340 different ways to get involved. And the last thing to mention is our Division I athletic program. We participate in the Mid-American Conference, or the MAC. Here's a list of a few of our popular areas of study. Now, like I had mentioned, we have over 200 different programs to choose from. So this is certainly not everything that we offer, but these are normally the ones that a lot of students, especially from out of state, are drawn to. I would say the biggest program we offer is engineering, since we have the 5th oldest co-op program, which is a fancy word for internship program in the United States. In terms of living on campus, we have traditional, non-traditional, apartment style, and gender neutral housing options. But regardless of the style option you select, all of our residence halls have the amenities listed here on the right-hand side. So they have high-speed internet, they have cable TV. The huge benefit to our residence halls at UA is going to be that central air conditioning. And our students actually get to select their own residence hall. Our self-selection process is very similar to Ticketmaster, where you can select your exact residence hall as well as room within that hall. Now, if you're interested in applying to the University of Akron, which I hope that you are, you can apply either on our website, uakron.edu/apply, or through the Common application. Either one is fine. If you're a senior, you still have plenty of time to apply. You can submit your high school transcript, and we are test optional for this year for our seniors. And we're really excited to announce that we've just decided to be test optional for our junior students too. So next year, if you're a junior, you can apply to UA without ACT or SAT scores as well. We've also gone ahead and waived our $50 application fee. So all we would need is your high school transcript and that application. From there, it takes about 1 to 2 weeks to receive a decision from us. And then your next step, if you're a senior, would be to confirm your enrollment. Let us know you plan to join us at UA. Now, we also are test optional for our honors program, which is awesome. So we have our preferred GPA and ACT or SAT score. But if you don't have ACT or SAT scores, you just need a 3.5 cumulative GPA in order to apply. If you apply and are admitted, you receive the additional perks listed here on the left-hand side, and you still have plenty of time to apply to the honors program if you're a senior, since our regular deadline is April 1st. In terms of affordability, we have a lot of different ways to make the University of Akron super affordable for students, especially coming from out of state. So the very first thing you're going to receive as an admitted student to the University of Akron is our Akron Guarantee Scholarship. If you have a 3.0 cumulative GPA or better, that's an automatic scholarship that you will receive upon admission. This scholarship ranges anywhere from $1,000 all the way up to $7,500. In addition, our students from out of state with a 3.0 cumulative GPA or better are going to automatically receive a $3,000 scholarship as well, which really helps close the gap between in-state and out of state tuition. Just to mention, we are a public institution as well, so there is a little variance between in-state and out-of-state tuition. Now, if you would like to apply for additional scholarships on top of the automatic ones we provide, you can go to uakron.edu/scholarships to view all of the other scholarships that you can go ahead and apply to. In addition to our Akron Guarantee Scholarship being automatic, we're also going to renew that scholarship and even make upgrades as you make progress towards your degree. So for example, if you have $1,000 going into your first year, that's your base scholarship amount. Not only will that renew for your sophomore year, we're going to upgrade that by $500 as long as you're making good academic progress towards your degree. So that second year, your $1,000 scholarship has turned into $1,500. And just as a reminder, you're getting that Akron Advantage Scholarship, which is $3,000 just because you're not from Ohio. Here's a list of our tuition and fees. So you can see our in-state versus out-of-state tuition listed here. Our in-state tuition is $11,000, right? About $12,000. And our out-of-state tuition is $15,500, which is super competitive with maybe some in-state institutions in Illinois. So again, if you have above a 3.0 or above, you're going to be receiving an automatic $4,000 at bare minimum. And then our housing rates vary and our meal plans vary depending on where you're going to live on campus or which meal plan you'd like. But it gives you a very comprehensive view that our sticker price for an out-of-state student is anywhere between $26,000 and $30,000. If you are interested in visiting our campus, you can feel free to do that in person. We are also offering in-person campus tours. And like I said, we're only about 6 to 6.5 hours away from Chicago. And we also have plenty of virtual opportunities for you to engage with us as well. We offer financial aid assistance, individual financial aid appointments, virtual special topic sessions like virtual campus tours, general information sessions, Williams Honors College information, student panels, plenty of opportunities. And then this is my contact information. I am the admission counselor that works with all students from Illinois, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you via email or by text.
Cassie, thanks for sharing great information about U of A. Next up, you get to hear from Murray State University.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney. So like Courtney said, we are Murray State University. My name is John Halcomb, and I am an admissions counselor here at Murray State. I want to thank you guys for coming to this presentation and listen to these awesome presenters that we have today. But for Murray State, our tuition, we have a total enrollment of right around 10,000 students. So we have about 7,000 undergraduate students and about 3,000 graduate students here on campus. So it's kind of that small town feel that we have. We also have kind of that big school vibe here on campus. We have 45 states represented and 50 countries represented here on campus. And then we also have 143 different academic programs. We are located in the heart of Western Kentucky. We're about 2 hours from Nashville, about 3 hours from St. Louis. We are located about 20 minutes from Land Between the Lakes. So that's Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley. So if you enjoy being outdoors, if you enjoy hiking, kayaking, biking, horseback riding, being on the water, we're only a 20-minute drive away. Now, Murray's population is right around 19,000, so it is a relatively small town, and that's without the student population we have here on campus. Murray was voted the friendliest in America by USA Today back in 2014, so they do still take a lot of pride in that recognition. On campus, we have 173 different student organizations. We have Greek organizations, residential organizations, professional organizations. That list is down there in the bottom left. We have 25 intramural teams and sports clubs. So if you enjoy playing sports, you played sports in high school, but you don't want to compete at the collegiate level, we do have those intramural sports for students to play with either their residential college, or their Greek organization, or they can create their own team with their friends that they have on campus. Now, we are a Division I school when it comes to our athletics. We have 15 NCAA teams. We have men's and women's sports. You can see down in the bottom right. And the nice thing for all of our athletics, those events are free for students to go to. So all you have to do is show your student ID and you get into those events. Now, a couple of traditions we have here at Murray State. And so on the left, that is Racer One. That's our mascot that we have here on campus. It's a live horse and jockey. So every time we score a touchdown during a football game, that horse and jockey will run around the track, which is really cool to see. It's a great experience to have here on campus. Now on the right side, we have our shoe tree. So the tradition with this, if you come to Murray State and meet your future spouse, once you go off and get married, you're supposed to come back and put your shoes onto this tree. This is my favorite tradition here at Murray State, and it was actually featured on Lucas Graham's music video for Love Someone. So that was really cool to have that national recognition. On to our academic life. So like I mentioned earlier, we have 143 different academic programs here on campus. Our 5 most popular majors being nursing, business administration, biology or pre-med, occupational safety and health, and our agriculture sciences. We have 6 different academic colleges. And our occupational safety and health department is one of the top programs here in the country. We also have a free interest assessment. If you aren't sure what you want to study, if you go to murraystate.mymajors.com, there is a little quiz that can kind of help you get a feel for what you want to go into. So some of our admission requirements for Murray State. We are now a test optional institution. So if you have a 3.0 GPA or higher, we no longer need an ACT or an SAT score. But if you are between a 2.5 and a 2.99, we will need that test, so the ACT or SAT. And we require an 18 on the SAT or a 960 or 18 on the ACT, I'm sorry, and a 960 on the SAT. Our admissions applications on murraystate.edu/apply. You'll go in there, fill out the application, you'll submit your transcripts, and there is a $40 application fee. Once you submit that, you should hear back in about 2 to 2.5 weeks, depending on that time, and there is no deadline for application. Now, some scholarships that we have here at Murray State. So we do have our Academic Achievement Scholarship for incoming freshmen. This is our automatic scholarship. So we just updated it. They're working on updating this graphic, but if a student has a 3.0 GPA, you're automatically getting $1,000 a year from the university. Now, if your test score is higher and your GPA is higher, your money starts increasing. And this is a 4-year renewable scholarship that you receive during your entire time here at Murray State. The nice thing with Murray State as well is we offer a regional tuition rate for Illinois students. So you're paying, without any scholarships, $10,860 a year, which makes us really competitive with the other schools that are in state. Now, we also have our competitive scholarships as well as the academic achievement, and that's more of your involvement base in high school. Some dining options that we have here on campus. We have our Winslow Dining Hall, which it can fit all your needs for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a late night option. And that's on the residential side of campus. And we also have our Einstein Brothers Bagels, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and Steak and Shake on our academic side of campus. So for housing, we have 3 different kind of housing options for students to pick from. So we have our suite style bathrooms, our private style bathrooms, and our community style bathrooms here on campus. Besides that, there is my contact information. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me. And if you go to murraystate.edu, you can set up a visit to our campus. And we also do virtual visits where you can talk to someone like myself, an admission counselor here on campus. Thank you guys. Courtney, you can take it away.
Thanks, John, to you and to Murray State. Next up, you get the opportunity to hear from the University of Kentucky.
All right. Thank you all again so much for joining us. And again, my name is Anna Naya, and I am the Chicago Regional Admissions Counselor for the University of Kentucky. We're going to go ahead and jump in and talk all things University of Kentucky. First and foremost, we are a 4-year public institution located in Lexington, which is the 2nd largest city in the state of Kentucky. We are a Tier 1 research institution and the flagship school for the state of Kentucky. We have a total enrollment of just over 30,000 students, and then our undergraduate population sits at just about 22,000 students total. We offer over 200 academic programs, some of our popular programs being engineering, nursing, any of the natural sciences such as biology or chemistry, as well as business and education and psychology. And that's just to name a few. We also do offer programs called exploratory studies in 9 of our colleges. And so what exploratory studies means is that students can study and essentially be undecided and have the opportunity to really find the major that will fit them the best throughout their freshman and sophomore years. We also have an average classroom size of roughly about 19 students, and then our student to faculty ratio is 16:1. We, of course, are very much so focused on student support throughout your time at the University of Kentucky. So you also will be working with an advisor and have career advising as well too, should you seek that throughout your time at UK. We also do offer over 20 different tutoring locations across the campus. So no matter what topic area you need assistance with, you're able to meet with someone and get those answers to those questions that you have. Another thing to note about the University of Kentucky is that it is one of 8 institutions in the country to offer a full complement of liberal arts, engineering, professional, agricultural, and medical colleges all on one campus. So we have a little bit of everything for anyone. So whether you're a student who is interested in studying the health sciences, you can have that hands-on shadowing experience in our hospital systems, or if you're interested in agriculture and working and really getting that hands-on experience, you can work in our agriculture farms that we have for our students as well too. This also expands beyond your bachelor's degree. We have plenty of professional degree programs from medical school, dental school, as well as a pharmacy school and a law school as well too. So you can continue your education after your 4 years at UK. As I mentioned previously, we're located in Lexington, and Lexington is the 2nd largest city in the state. You'll see roughly about a 300,000 population number. So it's somewhat small, but somewhat large at the same time too. But the city itself is really perfectly positioned. It's within a really quick walking distance, just a few blocks away from campus. There's full opportunities for shopping, and there's restaurants and grocery stores, movie theaters, there's malls, everything you can possibly imagine is really close by and accessible for our students. And also the food scene down there is pretty great too. So lots of great restaurants within walking distance, or even right across from the campus as well too. Another fun fact as well is that Lexington is considered the horse capital of the world. So you have horse farms, and you also have the Keeneland racing track as well too, which is really great to experience. There's racing in the fall and in the spring. And if you're old enough, you can bet on the ponies and have just an amazing time at the races as well. Just to compare Illinois and the bluegrass, you'll see that drive down to campus be anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. It truly just depends on where you're coming from in Illinois. And then you also can fly down to Kentucky. There's the Lexington Bluegrass Airport, which is about 15 minutes from campus. And then you have the Louisville and Cincinnati airports, which are an hour and 15 minutes from campus itself. You have roughly about 1,603 current students that are from the state of Illinois attending UK. And then in general, 34% of our students are from a state outside of Kentucky that are currently on our campus. To quickly touch upon applying to UK, applications typically open up for our rising seniors in August. You can apply using the Common Application, Coalition application, or our application on our website. You can submit that, like I said, beginning of August, and then we have our early action deadline of December 1st. When you apply to UK, you'll submit a couple things to us. Your application, most importantly, there's a $50 application fee. And then there is also your transcripts and test scores as well too, which are to be determined on if will be test optional for the fall. But we go through a full holistic review. We're looking at so many different things outside of what your transcripts are showing, or if you're submitting your test scores, what that test score looks like. We're looking at your involvement. We're looking at everything that you've been a part of, as well as the written essay on the application as well. I also wanted to touch upon our athletics. We are a Division I school. We compete in the SEC. We have probably one of the most affectionate fan bases out there. We call them the Big Blue Nation. So you can go to sporting events. Basketball is definitely what we're most known for. So you can sit and cheer on the Wildcats as they're playing at a basketball team, or cheer on our football team as well too. We offer over 550 clubs and organizations, many of which are categorized. So you have clubs that are based off of academics and career-related opportunities. So there's lots of different things to be involved in, as well as Greek life as well. I did want to quickly touch upon visiting campus. We're doing visits, so you can join us either virtually or on our campus as well too. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I appreciate you all being here with us this evening. So thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Anne, and to the University of Kentucky. Our final presenter tonight was not available. That was the University of Kansas. So instead, I am going to ask our panelists to share some advice with you. So panelists, if you wouldn't mind turning back on your camera, we'll go round robin in the order that you presented tonight. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? You guys are certainly experts, and I know that they would love to hear from you. So to kick things off, we'll start off with Aaron.
Yeah, thanks, Courtney. That's a great question. And the first thing I would tell you is have fun with it. you really can't make a wrong choice. There's 4,000 plus schools in the country. We all have famous alumni. We all have amazing programs. And so really go through this process looking for the right place for you. When you find it, what happens is you get more involved, you make more friends, you enjoy the classes more, because in college, unlike high school, where you go to high school because somebody drew lines on a map around your house and said you have to go to this school or you have to pay a lot of money to go to a private school, in college, you can choose any of us. And so you're not, bound just to go somewhere because of where you live or, things like that. And so it allows you to find a campus with like-minded individuals. When people visit campus, they tend to go to the same school because they're looking for similar things. That leads to probably people you want to hang out with. Last fun fact I'll give you, you'll probably only talk to one kid from your high school in about 5 years. You'll actually talk to 7 of the people you meet in college in 5 years after you graduate college. So the funny thing is, you don't even know who your best friends are for the rest of your life yet. And it will be many of the people you meet on that college campus. So great question, Courtney.
Lindsay, I can't hear you. Maybe everybody else can. Nope. Why don't we come back to you, Lindsay? Let's go to Cassie.
Thanks, Courtney. I would say my biggest piece of advice is to get to know your admission counselor. We're all here today and introducing ourselves, but realistically, we're here to work with you from any point you are in high school. If you're a freshman and you're just getting started, we'd love to talk to you a little bit more about the University of Akron or any of the other schools that are here, what specific, areas that you're looking for information about. It's never too early to start that connection with us. And I think that that's the biggest piece of advice. A lot of students that I work with think they can't talk to us or they shouldn't talk to us until maybe their junior or senior year. But if there's anything that we can do to help make this process easier on you and your family, please let us know. We're always happy to help in any way that we can.
Lindsay, do we want to try you again?
Okay, can you hear me now? Oh, yay. Okay, great. The next piece of advice that I would give to you all is to pick your top 3 to 5 schools and actually go visit campus, because your idea of what that campus looks like could be very different from what it actually is like. And it's a great way to meet current students, meet current faculty members, see what types of clubs are offered. So yeah, I would suggest visiting campus and seeing if it feels like a good fit for you.
John, you're up next.
I totally agree with Lindsay. I think visiting campus is kind of the main way to see if it's the right fit for you. While you're on campus, put yourself in the shoes of a current student and see if you can see yourself going to school every day, going to class every day, staying there, being away from your family. Because for a lot of people, this is your first time being away from your family, being on a college campus, being kind of responsible for yourself. So see if that kind of is the right fit for you.
And finally, Anne.
I feel like this is so hard to be the last one to answer this question, but I definitely echo everything that everyone has said so far. But most definitely, when you're looking at different schools, don't be afraid to look at big schools, small schools, out of state, in state, but most importantly, try your best to visit them. It really makes a huge difference when you can be on that campus and see the students and see what it's like on that campus as well too, and even the surrounding areas as well. So do what you can. I know with COVID, of course, it's a little different, but any resources that are available, whether that be a virtual tour, information session with a college or a department, take advantage of everything you can and learn as much as you can about all the different schools that are out there. And again, you'll start to identify what really will work better for you, whether that be that big out-of-state school or a small private school that's in state or not too far from home.
Before I share my quick piece of advice, I'm gonna ask our panelists, because we do have a couple more minutes, to start thinking about their favorite campus tradition. So think about that, panelists, and we'll do the round robin again. One of you mentioned this already. I think, audience, please look at the people on this webinar. They are your experts and they are here to help you. They work in college admissions because they love working with students and families. And so they are the experts, rely on them versus the College Confidential website, because they truly do care about you and want to see the best for you. So I'll start again with Aaron. What is your favorite campus tradition?
Yeah, great question. So we have a big thing every April called Spring Fest, and that's where teams of 12 to 16 students compete in every single thing you can imagine: scavenger hunts, trivia contests, skits. They compete in volunteer and civic engagement and like who can collect the most canned goods. And then it finishes off with a huge sports weekend with the final event being mud tug of war. Last year, we have about 70% of our student population that lives on campus that takes part of this. So that's the big thing, especially when it starts getting nice again outside.
Who doesn't like friendly competition, right, Aaron?
Alrighty, our biggest tradition, or I guess one of our biggest traditions on campus, is that every year for homecoming, our mountain rescue team goes up. We actually have the largest collegiate emblem on the side of the mountain in the United States, which is a fun fact. But our mountain rescue team goes up and lights the W on fire for homecoming, which is really fun. And we actually have the only collegiate certified mountain rescue team in the nation as well. So another fun fact for you.
Cool fun fact for those of us from Illinois who don't even really recognize truly what a mountain rescue team is. So that's awesome.
My favorite tradition at the University of Akron is probably the wagon wheel game. That's between our rivals, Kent State University, which is only about 5 miles from campus. So we're pretty close by, two pretty big state schools within walking distance, not really, but walking distance of campus. And when the University of Akron was founded, we were founded a little bit earlier than Kent State. Our founder, John R. Buchtel, was trying to find the best spot for the University of Akron to make his university. And he kind of kept going back and forth from Akron to Kent to find his perfect spot. And along the way, and we've been around 150 years to give you a good idea of how long ago this was, he lost one of his wagon wheels off of his wagon. So Kent State thinks it's rightfully theirs. The University of Akron thinks it's rightfully ours. So every time we play our rivals, Kent State, we compete for the wagon wheel. So it's a very fun, friendly competition between two very large state schools pretty close by.
Love it, Cassie. John?
So like I mentioned in my presentation, I think my favorite tradition on campus is our shoe tree. It's located right in the middle of the quad, so there's a lot of students that are going past it every single day. And so like I mentioned, if you come to Murray State and meet your soulmate, you later go on and get married just to come back and put your shoes onto the tree. I've seen a lot of people putting their shoes on the tree, walking to and from class when I was a student. And now I've had a couple friends that are going to put their shoes on the shoe tree. So it's really cool. And it's something that we hold dear to our hearts at Murray State.
That's really special. Anne?
Yeah, so this is definitely, it's like part tradition, part organization that you can be a part of as a student. But Dance Blue is a really big part of our organization at the University of Kentucky, and something that's super popular as well. So it's essentially a night of 24-hour dancing. There's no sitting, there's no sleeping. You are essentially up all night, and it's a big dance party. It's supposed to be amazing. But essentially what you're doing is you're raising money for the Golden Matrix Fund. So it's really to benefit the University of Kentucky Children's Hospital as well too. So it's a really big thing. And there's a lot of teams that students create, and faculty and staff members, and even within the community. So it becomes this huge fundraising organization that's also a ton of fun as well.
That sounds like a lot of fun for a great cause. Thank you guys so much to our panelists, to those listening. When you close out tonight, there's going to be a quick 4-question survey. We really hope that you will provide us some feedback. Sign up for more sessions. There's still a session after this, and then certainly many more tomorrow. And again, that recording will be available within a week at strivescan.com/Illinois. Thanks so much, and have a great afternoon, guys. Bye.